Do your feet point outwards all the time or have one foot that does it? Get pains when you run? Knees cave in whenever you squat? Or just get random lower body aches and pains? It's not something that you're stuck with. Everything is changeable, and we are going to take you through a simple circuit to fix it. Firstly, we want to check our hips. If your glutes are super tight, it's going to point the feet outwards. Try this with us. Lift one foot up and then squeeze your glute on that side, and you'll see how the foot changes direction. This is the 90-90 position. We're going to use this to assess our hips. So right now, Jenni's right leg, which is the front leg, is externally rotated, and her left leg, which is the back leg, is internally rotated. So what you would see here if you were trying to sit upright in this position would be if the knee was up on the front leg, or you felt strain in the side of the knee, or when you tried to sit up, the knee was way up. That would mean your external hip rotation is limited on that side, or your glutes would be really, really tight. On the back leg, if you're trying to sit up, you felt cramping on the outside of the hip and it just felt really, really uncomfortable, that would mean your internal rotation is limited on that side. You're going to test both sides, and we're going to work on both sides, internal and external rotation. Firstly, we're going to focus on our external hip rotation. So from here, Jenni is focusing on the front leg, so the back leg, we can tuck that in, take it out of the equation. Don't worry about that right now. From here, she puts one hand beside her knee and then the other hand beside her foot, and she's going to lean herself forwards. She's aiming to try and get her knee down to the floor, but from her hip opening up. So she's not thinking about trying to force the knee down, she's thinking that the hip does the work for her. Then from there, she's looking to arch her lower back. So she's trying to do an anterior tilt, stick her bum out that way, and then lean her sternum down towards the front here. It's very important that you aim towards the front, not to try and hunch yourself around, because then you're just doing like a nice lower back stretch, really. We're not working on the hip. So you want to make sure that you're feeling this deep in the hip and in the glute. You're going to hold this for 1 minute, and every 20 seconds, take a deep breath out, and just try and sink yourself down lower. Again, making sure we're not just rounding the back. You're trying to bring yourself down nice and slowly. If you're quite inflexible, you'll probably be up quite high with the arms straight. Don't worry about it. Do it at your level. You're going to do 1 minute on one side. You're going to swap sides. And then repeat again. Remember, take the back leg out of the equation. Focus again every 20 seconds. Deep breath out. Lower yourself down. And then you'll go back to the first leg again and then do the other leg again. So that's the external hip rotation. For the internal hip rotation, we're going to take the front leg out of the equation, so bend that knee and then bring the back leg one out. What we're aiming for here is to be as upright as possible and to reach the hands forward so we're able to touch the shin. This is the position you ideally want to hold, and then every 20 seconds we're having that breathe out. So we're holding that for that full minute again, and we're going to do that on both sides 2 times. Now what you're going to want to default to here is trying to just reach with the shoulders to try and get towards your shin. If you're looking like this and you're just all hunched up, it's not going to get that same effect. So you may feel you're cramping because when you work on internal rotation, you're not stretching out the glute like you are in external rotation. So it just never feels nice to work on. So if you find that you're hunched over too much, just lean yourself back a little bit and try and get yourself up as straight as possible. And if you can't get upright at all, then just wiggle the knee and just get used to being in that position. It can take a bit of time to improve this one. After 2 minutes on each leg in each position, stand up and give your hips a bit of a wiggle and see how they feel. After we've created the space in the hips, we want to retrain the lower body and how it moves so that makes it stick. This is the part that most people miss. Just removing a restriction isn't enough. You need to override your body's habits. We'll do that using a superset. Ideally, you'll need a step, something you can stand on comfortably that's around mid-shin height. You could use your bottom stairs or a stool. Don't worry, if you don't have that though, you can easily adapt these movements anyway. We're going to start with the deep split squat first of all. So we've got our foot elevation. Jenni puts one foot on and the back foot, everything goes nice and straight. Imagine you're on train tracks, so everything can only go forwards and backwards. We've got no side to side going on. She sinks her hips down nice and low here, and she's going to pause in the bottom position for 3 seconds, making sure to be strong and stable through the foot here, and she brings herself back up with control. You should feel like your foot is strong in this position and you're loading your hips as you go down. You're not feeling pressure going through the knee as you bring yourself up. What you're looking for, if you film yourself from a front angle, is we don't want the hips to shoot out to the side or the knee to just cave inwards. And then from a side angle, film a separate set, and we want to see, do we get the knee over the toes like this, or are we stuck going down like a normal standard lunge. We don't want to see that because we're looking to work on our ankle flexibility here. And whenever you film both sides, C is the same range of motion here on both sides. So if Jenni was to swap to the other side, and we would see more of a vertical shin, and we struggle to get forwards, that will be more of a tighter side. So in that bottom position, you're really trying to get that knee as far over the toe as you can. So you can also use this like a stretch as well. If you find this crazy challenging, what you can do is do it beside a wall and have the wall to hold on to stabilize yourself. You could also use your other hand on your knee as well and slowly use them to bring you back up. The main thing is that you get that really good control on the way down. So you should feel like you know what you're doing the entire time and you're not just falling down like a wobbly mess. For balance and control, we're going to use the step down drill. So we pick a foot to be strong and stable on our step, and then we slowly try to tap the heel gently in front of us to the ground, letting the knee come over the toe, trying to get as minimal foot wobbles as we can. From here, we have those same points. We don't want to see the hips shooting out to the side, the knee caving inwards, and we don't just want to be wobbling all over the place. We're going to be doing 8 reps on each side, and a really nice one that Jenni just did there. Make sure that you don't let the heel raise up as you go down as well. We're looking to get that knee going forwards over the toe, and that's how we walk down the stairsies. So great one to practice. If you really struggle with the step down drill, you can again use your hand on a wall to help assist you. So this is a great one to build up your balance and control. Here is the full circuit. You want to make sure that you are lengthening and then you are strengthening. Aim to do this around 3 to 4 times per week to make the fastest progress. So we've used the 90-90s to assess and loosen up your hips, and then we have used the split squats and the step downs to retrain your body. Remember that duck feet or feet turning out is totally changeable. The best person to fix it is you. Don't fall into the trap of wanting fancy tools or expensive treatments to fix it for you. All it takes is time and practice, but you have the power to retrain these bad movement habits. If you want to take the thinking out and work on your entire body, then head over to our website, tommorrison.uk, and check out the Simplistic Mobility Method.